So I mean, we can go from top to bottom really. As someone who played all of these operators, I could say on the attacker side, Ace is probably going to be the best. Let's just get that straight right now. His utility, he's the best hard breacher in the game. Like everything about him is just the best in the game. No questions asked. Alibi, um, I would put her bottom of average, top of bad. And I only say that because her utility is very easy to kind of manipulate. And like for example, if you put the not the drones but the copies down, you're gonna tell. You know, if you are an experienced player, you can tell. I know for me, I fell for it time and time again. But as I played like maybe 6, 7 games, I was good. I wasn't falling for that anymore. All right, so who do we have next? Amaru. Yeah, no, you're just bad. I mean, I would say lower bad or top of get the fuck out. Just because with her kit and what she has, it's just not useful for the game, especially at the state that it's in right now. Not useful at all. What you're gonna jump in not knowing any intel unless your teammates drone the section and you have top tier communication. But if you don't have top tier communication, then you're just a really bad operator. That I'm not sure why you wasted a pick for that. Aruni, I would say that she is average. I want to see her weapons get a little bit of a buff before I can place her in the really good. She is average. Her utility, her ability is really good when it comes to manipulating the map. And, I would say, average, top of average for sure. One of the top of average operators. I would say, yeah. I mean, that's all I got to say about that. Ash, I would say Ash is probably an S tier for sure. She's been an S tier probably since the beginning of the game. She has high mobility. Her hitbox is really small. She's easy to use. She's beginner friendly because her ability is just that simple. You shoot the launcher, it breaks soft barriers. I mean, the only thing I could really say is that like for the hard like soft barriers she's good at because obviously she has her ability, but the hard barriers she needs a little bit of a backup. But other than that, I mean, that is like legit her only weakness, so I can say that she's in the middle or bottom of the best operators in the game. Let's see here. I just want to try to do attackers first and then defenders. I know I did like defender here. I want to do attackers first and defenders. Blackbeard, it's gonna be A. I mean, not A, S. He has been a menace. They tried to nerf him so many times throughout his life in the game, and they just can't seem to get it right. Where when he was first announced, he was really OP. Then they nerfed him to the point where he was utterly trash. And then now they nerfed him, they buffed him again to where even with the latest nerf where the glass is tinted and like the aim down sights is a little bit slower, he's still one of the best operators in the game. Blitz, he is, I would say he's top of average, below of really good, just because he is, I would say every time that I played him, he's really good. What I will say is that just the flash, it isn't really the reach of it. So he really needs to be close quarters to get in that really good range. But I would say average. Average is good for him. Buck is like probably next to Ace on the best. He can do hard breach. He can do soft breach. He can basically do everything. When it comes to the soft breaches, he can use his skeleton key. The hard breaches, I mean, he can't do hard breaches, but he can manipulate the hard breach to where if his teammate does, like for example, if there was an ace, He threw his ace bombs there. You know, Ace has one of the quickest hard breaches abilities in the game, if not the fastest. You know, he has his flashbangs. Buck has his flashbangs. He could throw it in there, they're done. Or if like I know like sometimes the setups are where they would have like the reinforcements and on one side they would put like a hole for like a peak hole. You know, Buck can just abolish that just for his skeleton key. He's like generally one of the best operators in the game. He's kind of OP. Capital, I would say is yeah, he's a D tier. He's a deer. I used to play Capital, and I used to like him, but his ability, his bow, his arrow, his not arrow. I'm just gonna call it an arrow. I forgot his crossbow. His crossbow is just really slow to get out. As far as the utility in the crossbow, the smoke and the fire, they last so little time. Um, if he had a little bit of a buff to where it lasted a lot longer, then you know he could be, I would say C, maybe bottom B, but his utility is just not as good as it used to be. Let me see here. Demos, I would say he is. I'm gonna try to get these in order. Yeah, I think Demos is one of the best operators in the game just because his ability just is basically a 1v1 kit. If you go inside, well, for one, I would say that you could place him in A if you really wanted to. I'm gonna place him on S just because of my experiences. Because if you don't spot the operators and you don't like identify the operators, he won't be able to use his ability. So if your teammates just weren't droning or weren't scanning anything, then you know your ability is just not there. It's not useful at all. But as far as like his actual kit, like the AK and his pistol, you know, I know for example we'll get to her, but like for example Nomad, her pistol with the scope, yo, that recoil is something else. But with Demos, his revolver, no recoil at all. So it's very beginner friendly and it's you know something that you can actually use, you know, with no problems at all. Dokkaebi, still an S tier. I mean, that's one of the that's like the number one band that I would say that I usually vote for when I play ranked. Just because her utility and her kit is just that good. Is that good? I mean, she basically just I don't even know how to explain it. Like she just announces everybody. She clicks on her tablet. She takes care of the camera. She can look in the enemy cameras. She'll block, you know, the defense from looking at the cameras. She'll like turn on their cell phone so it vibrates so we can hear where they're at if they're around the corner or anything. She's just that good for sure. Let me see. This is all defenders. Finka, I would say that she is really good. I would say bottom of really good, top of average, just because, well, one, she can heal her own team. That's one thing. She can heal her own team. Second is that the buff that she gives you, like for example, aiming down sights, godly, godly. That one ability can change a whole scope of the game to where, you know, some people, like for example, I played a game and the 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 teammate that I had that was playing Finka, nobody was injured. She popped it, and then like the buffs went crazy to where we just all rushed in, and then we had that upper hand against the defense. You know, I really give her a really good, and if you know how to play Finka and you know like the right times to do it, and you coordinate with your team, she could be a really good, one of the best operators in the game. Not the best operator, but a really good operator. Uh, Flores, I would give Flores a C, just because with his drone, I mean, it's really underwhelming. I think he's better than Alibi, but I feel like it's very underwhelming. If you're trying to like destroy, let's say, Capcan traps, or you're trying to destroy tripwire or anything like that, then yeah, you know, it can be really good. But as far as doing damage to the actual enemy, I have yet to even get a kill with this guy. I don't know if it's a skill issue and it's just me, but as far as you know, using Flores, he's really underwhelming for me. All right, next one is Fuse. I would say he is average. As a beginner, you know, as a beginner, Fuse is someone that it is beginner friendly. He has a simple ability to where he has his fuse bombs. You go against a wooden window or a wall, and you'll be able to use his fuse bombs. The only downside in what they did is that when you activate the actual ability, the noise is so loud, or the noise is not really loud, but it's really noticeable to where it's like, yeah, I can just get out of this room quick and it won't affect me. If it does affect me, it'll take a little bit of health away, right? So I would say, as someone who's getting back into Siege, he's kind of an average operator. In some cases, he's really good. Like if you go against a team that's like really like they don't know what they're doing and they're just held up in one room, he's going to be a fantastic operator. But for the most part, he is an average operator. Glaz, yeah, I know he's a D. Glaz is a D. He has a really good sniper, and his sniper does really good damage. But just his convenience of Glass, like if you throw smokes, he has the thermal, and you'll be able to get him that way. But for the most part, I mean, you're not really gonna pick Glass when you're playing ranked and you're in like diamond lobbies or emerald lobbies. You're not gonna do that. He's kind of like a waste of a pick, and I wish that they could give him a little bit more. Maybe they'll give him a new secondary. I know for example, if they gave him like a secondary that was automatic instead of semi, that's something that it could really bring up his pick rate. But for now, he is in the bottom of D. He's probably like the last person that I would probably use in the whole game. Gridlock, she is I would say she is top of bad, below average. And I only say this because her utility, it takes a lot. It doesn't take a lot for her utility to be broken. If I have an impact grenade and I see a bunch of the gridlock spikes on the ground, I throw it, they're all gone. No problem at all. Yeah, I waste a little bit of a utility, or I waste a utility for that. But for the most part, it's just really like it's an easy counter. It's not hard, and that's one thing for an attacker. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need something to where it's like, I gotta think to counter this. For Gridlock, you just throw something at it and it's gone. Her weapons are decent. They're not the best, but they're decent. So I would say she's below average, top of bad. She's someone that I usually would not pick at all. Grim, I would say Grim is in the top of really good. I know I have seen like pro players and a lot of people who've been playing the game over the years, use Grim. Especially, I heard he had a buff. I wasn't sure how he was before, but I heard that he had a buff and he is like kind of like S tier. I have yet to kind of like see it as an S tier. I really think he's just an A tier operator that people can use him and people can do a really good job with his bees, and he can get a lot of good intel for the attacking team. But for me, I would say top of A. I will say I have used them. I've used every single one of these operators. I enjoy playing Grim. I haven't really seen like the S tier in him, but maybe me playing him more, I'll get used to his specific strategies and what he could do, and maybe he becomes an S tier. Hibana, yeah, she's really good. Ever since I started playing the game, she has been one of my mains. Love playing her. She, as far as the soft breach, hard breach, she'd be able to do it. I will say the only thing is that her weapon, the recoil for her weapon, I have yet to get it down packed. I can get Ash's R4 packed. I can get Blackbeard or Demos or what's her name, Dekobi or whatever her name is. Don't come at me for the comments, but her primary weapon, I can get it down packed, but sometimes it just surprises me how inconsistent her recoil is. I'm not sure if it's just her or if it's anybody else, but her recoil can get kind of her recoil can get kind of inconsistent for sure. All right, next is Iana. Iana, I would say bottom of really good, top of average. Her utility is really good. And when I say utility, I mean ability. It's really good. I will say that for her ability itself, you can get a lot of info and you can get a lot of, info and you can get a lot of. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I would say for her ability, you can get a lot of info. Her kit and the weapons that she uses, I love her assault. I forget the name of it, but Nomad has that assault rifle too. And I don't even run scopes with that assault rifle. I just run straight iron sights, and it's a beast. I love it. I love it. So I would say that she's kind of, um, I would say she's better than Hibana, better than Hibana. But yeah, I would say bottom towards the middle of really good. I wouldn't put her in B, C, or D for sure. She deserves way better than that. So she's definitely somewhere in the A. I know as I go through the other attackers and the defenders, we'll put her in the right spot. What is this? IQ? IQ? Yeah, IQ is gonna be like probably middle bad. She is only good in some instances. And I mean, she has the commando, the same weapon as Grim that, brings her up from a D to a C. But as far as, her kit itself, I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? But as far as her kit itself, it's not really that good. I mean, it's not really that practical, actually. She can see the enemy, like devices and everything like that. But, she's using a pistol. I mean, compared to everybody that's using SMGs and assault rifles, what are you going to do with a pistol? That's nice, nice. Good that you're doing pretty good, man. How's your day been going? Good? How's your week? I know it's the end of the week. Hope your week's been good. And I would say the next person is Jackal, which is, I would say, bottom of average, bottom of B, just because they nerfed him. So it's not a constant ping. It's only one ping, which really brings him down a lot. Even though like it may seem a small change where his ping follows the person, but instead of it being like one ping, yeah. Oh, last day of school tomorrow? Oh, shoot. Nice, man. Nice. My week's been okay. My week's been okay. Playing some Rainbow, grinding, getting back into Rainbow since CJX came in. But that's cool. That's cool. Last day of school tomorrow. You got any plans for the summer? All right. The next attacker. Um, the next attacker, Callie, that's the name. I have my little cheat sheet here. Callie is probably a C. Bottom of C, yeah. I mean, sniper rifles are just not as good, in the game as other options that you can have. That's just a plain fact. If they did a little bit, I mean, her utility is good when it comes to the soft breaches. Are you moving down to South Carolina? Nice. You got family there? I hope you like it. You seem excited, man. But as far as the soft breaches, man, I will say that she can get through it. And I know her actual sniper rifle is like one shot and the whole thing breaks, which is nice. I will say, as far as like a playing standpoint of like how would you play her, you would just play her long range, and if it was the defense team, you just waste time. So I mean, I would put her bottom of C. Oh, nice, man. Nice. I'm glad you're gonna be with family, man. Family's important. For sure. Family's important. I'm glad you're gonna be with them. Next attacker, Leon. I would say top of average or really good. He is an annoying operator to go up against just because you can't move. His kit is his assault rifle is goated, right? And on top of that, he has frags, so he can make like map control plays. He's just a really good, not compared to the other operators on the list, but he's a really good operator for attack. I would say he is average because once you could figure out, obviously his abilities and the more you play against him, he is annoying, but he's easy to counter. Let's just be honest. You got any plans for the summer, man? I know I'm from the New England area, and the summer always gets like freaking hot, like hot as hell. All right, next up, Maverick. Maverick is gonna be, I would say, bottom of B, top of C. I'm gonna put him at top of C for now, just because his weapons are good. I like his weapons. The only thing I will say is for his utility, you have to be really close, and then once you see the walls, like for example, if I'm going against a Maverick and he's trying to kind of burn the reinforced wall, I can see him doing it. I can see, and I can just shoot right in the hole that he's trying to burn, and then you're dead. You know, it happened to me multiple times, and that's why I actually stopped playing Maverick. I know some people still play Maverick like religiously, and they think he's really good, and that's your opinion. I mean, obviously this list is very opinionated against me. You know what I mean? But you know, I'd put him probably top of C. I think the only thing that saves him to being bottom of C or D is his weapon kits. All right, so who's next? I can never pronounce his name. Montieg. I can never pronounce his name. He's gonna be the top of really good. I don't play shield characters a lot, but he is a universal unit. He is a unit. He, no matter what situation he is, if you have someone on your team that has him and you're behind him and they play him like religiously and good, there's no stopping him. There's no stopping him. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you play against this guy, and like, even if they, you know, they don't play him often. Like for me, I don't play him often. I played him one game. Like when I first got back, the first game that I played with them, yo, the enemy team just didn't know what to do. I just kept rushing, not rushing, but I kept just like pushing them out, and my teammates behind me got all the kills, and I'm just supporting them. They just didn't know what to do. Shield characters are just really annoying to play with, and I don't think they'll ever get nerfed. Never. Next one would be, let's see here, defender, Nook. We're gonna do all attackers first. So Nook, I would say Nook is, I would say bottom of B, top of C, just because she's just a visual attacker. You know, as far as the cameras won't see her, but at the most of the time, defenders aren't looking at cameras. Let's just be honest. Unless you're like in the top ranks, defenders are not looking at cameras all that often. They're mostly looking at cameras when they're, like platinum, emerald, diamond, or champion. Anything gold or under, they're rarely looking at cameras. Let's just be honest. I would say Nomad. Nomad is top of really good, bottom of the best. This is kind of my bias, just because I love her weapon and I love her ability, where you can set it down. Like if you're going down a hallway, you set her ability down. It, you know, obviously it has your back in that case, and you know, when the defender gets shot down, you have time to go up to the defender, or you can reposition yourself. You have time to do that, just because it knocks them down, and there is, like, I would say for them to get back up, it's a good 5 seconds. And 5 seconds is a lot. It may not seem like a lot, but it's a lot when it comes to this game. Next is, what is her name? Osa. She is going to be average. I would say she's very beginner friendly. She's not, you know, really good or the best, just because her kit is just really, I would say she is bottom of Blitz. Yeah. Her kit is really simple. Her kit's really simple, and it's really easy to use, but it's really easy to counter. So you just gotta, you know, think about that. It's really easy to counter, and yeah, that's just what it is. Ram is gonna be probably bottom of A, top of B, probably better than Iana right here, just because depending on the map, she's good. If you're playing on a map where the enemy is defending first floor, and I forget what it is, I believe it's Bank, where the top floor, the second floor is all marble and there's barely any wood. So that map is like not viable at all, right? But if you get like Oregon, you know what I mean? You can, if they're defending basement or defending first floor, the second floor is gonna have that, you know, wood floor. So you'll be able to use her and be really, really effective. Her kit's good. She has the R4, which is always a fan favorite within the community. But, you know, I'd put her at really good. Yeah, no, she's one of the favorites for sure. I would say she's one of my favorites to get easy kills, because right now, for example, I'm bronze 3 right now. You know, as far as, you know, starting from copper and playing, I think in total I played like maybe, what was it, like 20 games, 22 games? And I'm legit 50-50, where like I lost 11 and won 11. She's one of the operators where I pick like for like to get easy kills. Like if I'm in Oregon, I go to the second floor if they're defending the first. I put it down, and then they have nowhere to hide. I just shoot them from above. Yeah, there's a couple like roamers that'll go up, and I have to watch my back when it comes to that. But for the most part, she's really good. She's really good to play. She's fun to play too. She's fun. Sense, I would give Sense. I would give him a bad, probably under IQ, because and only because he's just not fun to play. There's a difference of his utility being good and not fun to play where I put him in average, but his utility is probably not even that good. It's not even that good, and he's just not fun to play, man. Every time I play him, it's just a drag. He has a good assault rifle, which I believe is the same as Jackal, but for the most part, he's just not fun to play to me. He's not fun. Oh, you're on console? Yeah, I play on PC, and I know that for console when I did play, I played back in 2015 on console, but like when the game first came out, but it was on Xbox. Um, I know I played on Xbox just because um, when it came to like all my friends, I had a PS3 or a PS4. It was one of those. I had a PS3, then a PS4, then I bought an Xbox because all my high school friends were on Xbox. And then from Xbox, I switched, I went back to like the PS4 because the PS4 was just about a console for me. After the PS4, I went to the PS5, and then I got a PC. And then sometimes I switch. I play mainly just all my sports games on my PS5, but for example, Rainbow, I play with PC, and I haven't really been taking Rainbow really that seriously until CGX came out, like probably like a week or two before CGX came out. That's when I've been playing a lot of Siege just to get used to it. And I'm loving Siege right now. I'm loving Siege. Let me see here. Sledge. Sledge is always gonna be an A tier for me. Top of A. He's just his kit, his utility, his obviously his equipment like frag grenades when you bring him in. He's gonna be like probably the best. He's the best. I mean, he's a staple. He's one of the most popular characters. He's one of the most beginner friendly characters. He's one of the best characters in the game. I would say the only thing that sets him back is he's very simplistic and he can't do any hard breaches. But other than that, that's why I put him in really good, top of really good. Yeah, I heard that the audio for some people aren't like top tier right now. I know I did change a little bit of my settings because, well, for one, I changed my sensitivity settings today, and I forgot what I had before. So right now I'm just figuring out what I had before and what works for me now. So my aim's like really off. But as far as the hearing, I did change a couple settings. I forget what they were called. I'm gonna be playing later, so I'll definitely show them. But I changed it to like they had like a night mode, which wasn't really night mode. Like it wasn't called night mode, but it was a little bit of a night mode. I changed that from night mode to like high def, something like that. I'm gonna show them in the settings when I hop on after this tier list. Let me see here. Small, no, Striker. He's gonna be an S tier. Striker's gonna be an S tier, just because you can bring two equipments. He has no ability because obviously he's like the beginner of the Rainbow characters or our operators, but he's 100% S tier for me. Bottom of S tier. Bottom of S tier. He's something where it's like if you don't know what to pick or it's like, oh, I have no preference right now. Pick Striker. You'll be set. You'll be set. Thatcher. Thatcher is going to be an A tier right next to Sledge for me. His EMP, obviously EMP is goaded. Whether it's a Cade putting down an electrical thing on the reinforcements or a bandit. I know bandits can do like bandit tricks and stuff like that, but that's if you actually know how to play. If you don't know how to play and Thatcher does his EMP, you'll be golden. You'll be golden. But Thatcher, his kit, his utility, he's beginner friendly. Everything that I just said for Sledge works for Thatcher. And that's why I put in them side to side. Um, Thermite, I would say he has the same kit as Osa, right? Which makes him better than Osa, but he is because he can hard breach. I would put him below Grim at really good, just because Ace is just a better Thatcher. Let's just be honest. Ace is just a better Thatcher overall. He's still really good. He's still really good. So if someone bans Ace or someone, yeah, if someone bans Ace, play a Thatcher. If someone bans Thatcher, you play an Ace. You know, they're one and the same. It's just one is a lot better than the other one. Twitch. I would say Twitch is I would say really good. I would say yeah, I would put him like right here, right below Ram. Just because the Twitch drone's really good. It's good with for the shots that it has, and it can take, for example, the Goro fire shits, you know, off the walls, and you know it has like that electrocuting thing for this drone. But I would say what brings it down is the F2, which is like the FAMAS. The recoil on that is insane. If you master that, put Twitch right here. If you master it, put Twitch right there. But for that, it brings it all the way down for it to. It's one, hard to master, two, hard to stay consistent, and three, just hard to control, even if it's once in a blue moon, right? It's just gonna be hard in general, especially for a beginner. Ying, I will give Ying higher than a Grim, bottom of Montieg, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Her flashes are goaded, 100% goaded, and her LMG is really good. So if you have those two combined, I would say the only downside for that is if you are her teammate, I believe you do get flash too, which could be a detriment for your team. So you just got to be careful with that. That's probably what brings you down to from an S to an A, but she's still really good. If you pick her, I mean, I don't see it as being a bad pick at all, no matter what circumstance it is. Zero and Zofia. Zero's gonna be, I would say, bottom of B, top of C, just because his ability relies on you to look at the cameras. If you aren't looking at cameras or you playing really slow and the time runs out, that's a huge detriment to yourself, right? If you have a team that's playing really fast and you have comms with your team and you're playing Zero, he can go all the way to a really good operator. His weapon is goated. He is one of the best weapons in the game, in my opinion. But just because you have to look at the cameras constantly, not just once, you know, one like, let me look, let me go back, let me look, let me go back. Not that. Constantly looking at the cameras, he's gonna be bottom of B. Zofia, yeah, I would say she's higher than Gridlock, lower than Maverick. Her utility's just not really that good. I would say the only thing good is her impact grenades, but as far as her concussions, they don't last that long. And the weapon that she pulls out to shoot the actual concussions, it just takes too long. Takes too long to reload or go to the other round, or it just takes too long to actually get out. Or if you're gonna put it back to get out your actual weapon, it takes too long, right? If they reduce it, she could be a B, maybe an A, maybe depending on what they do. But right now, she's just a C tier. Right, well, let's see what's that. I think it's all defenders now. Now here's my list. This is where the list is gonna get crazy. And, you know, there might be some controversial opinions, but as a beginner, Azumi, she's been broken since the start. Since she's been announced, she has been broken. No matter what you do with her, whether you pre-place the actual barriers before the round starts, or you do it as the round is commencing, so you're like blocking off certain areas. She is OP. She is OP. Let's just get that straight. Bandit, he's really good if you know how to bandit trick. Other than that, he's kind of average. I would say he's higher than Fuse, but lower than Aruni. Bravo, yeah, she's an attacker. I should have done her first. But I would put her as top of bad. It's the same thing with Zero, where you're constantly gonna have to be. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, share it out, man. I appreciate that. But I would constantly, you would constantly need to be droning, and that could be a detriment. One, for your time, and two, for your team. If I'm going in and I'm saying, hey, listen, I'm gonna go in right now. I'm ace. I'm hard breaching, and I need backup. and my team's Brava, and she's just in her drone, just looking. I understand that's good for intel, and it is good for intel. I'm not denying that, but her doing that compared to actually going in, I mean, there's just a priorities question, right? A priorities. I'm not sure how it is, for example, an Emerald Diamond champion, right? Because I'm not at that level yet. Unfortunately, I wish I was, but I'm not at that level yet. But as a beginner, she's like, I have a lot more options to pick from her, right? I have a lot more options. No, but thank you, man. Feel free to share out. I I upload YouTube videos, and I do like TikToks, YouTube Shorts every day. So definitely, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. If you have any recommendations on some content you want to see, let me know. I'll be sure to do it. I would say Castle's honestly gonna be probably top of B, lower A. He's just average, right? He's legit the name. Thank you. I appreciate the sub. I appreciate the sub. And the follow, yo, your man, you're golden right now. You're golden. But Castle's really average. I would say one thing that puts him on the top of average, kind of really good, is he has an ACOG sight for his UMP, or his primary weapon. I know he's a shotgun and an SMG. I believe it's a UMP, but I'm just gonna say it's a submachine gun. He does have an ACOG for that, which is really good. A lot of people don't like using ACOG on defense, but I do, and he's just been really good, to me. I'm a Cav hater. I rather play Glass than Cav. I'd rather play Glass than Cav. Let's just put it at that. Her weapons were nerfed to the ground. Her ability's okay. If you're roaming, it's really good. But for the most part, it takes 5 shots from her pistol just to put you down. And when you interrogate, it makes so much noise where the sound cues, it's like, okay, I know. And then when you do get, like, for example, if someone gets interrogated and they show you, it doesn't really last that long. So I'm putting her probably bottom of Glass. That's just an opinion of me. But whatever. Clash is gonna be S. I mean, they buffed her so much. I probably put Clash probably top of Ash, right? The fact that you could put the shield down, when I found out you could do that, I was so shocked. I'm like, what are they thinking? But it works well. It works well. And the one thing right now, at least for right now, is that you cannot ban her in ranked. So when I play Clash, all 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds, right? You can't stop me. You can't stop me from picking Clash. And I'm gonna be OP all 5 rounds. All 3, 4, or 5 rounds of defense I'm gonna play. Yeah. No, I honestly did not like Clash at all. I hated Clash with the passion in my heart. I hated her. But after playing her in this new rework, one, she's OP. Let's just get that straight. One, she is OP. I don't care what anybody says, she's OP. Thank you for the sub, man. I appreciate it. You're the best. You're the best. I would say she is OP right now. But second, the fact that you can drop her shield, man. You can drop her shield. It just first, if I'm versing someone who's going against the Clash, it's really annoying. But playing Clash is really fun. So there's a detriment and an advantage in it. There's a detriment and advantage. Doc is always gonna be a really good operator. No matter, I'm gonna put him in bottom A, top of B, just because no matter what, he's always gonna be a really good operator because he can heal himself and he can heal teammates. If a teammate's like legit one shot from Doc, he's back to full health. You know what I mean? He's just that good of an operator since day one. There's no really explanation to that. Echo, I would say Echo is B average. And I know when I said, like, for example, attackers using drones a lot can be a detriment, I would put him probably on top, like more on the Fuse, less than the Bandit. But you're on defense. You need to look at the cameras. And his drones have like the concussion effect if you shoot them, and he gets 2 of them. Right? He gets 2 of them. If someone's planting bomb, or if someone's trying to planting bomb, and there's like 5 seconds left, You shoot him with the Echo drone, it stops him. It stops the whole animation, and then you get the win because the time is wasted. You know what I mean? That's probably one of the best feelings that you can get while playing Echo, where it's like he's an average operator, where it's like his weapons have a lot of recoil and hard to get used to, but his utility and his kit is it's really good. So like legit, he is a definition of average. He's a definition of average. Ella, she I would say she is higher than Nook and Zero, but lower than Jackal. Because as a defender, if you have a shield right now as a defender, it's really good. But her utility is really easy to counter. Just because one is very noticeable on the walls or floors or ceilings is very noticeable. And two, if you are concussed, it's not like, for example, a flash where you can't see. It's more of like a like you're distorted. You know what I mean? So, it goes hand in hand. She is an average operator. Her shotgun is golden. Her shotgun's really good. The Scorpion just has a little bit of recoil they need to get used to, but it's no big deal. Fenrir is going to be an S. That map control is just too good. His ability for the map control is just too good. He has a good kit. His ability is really good. He's just an S tier. S tier. Frost. She is a really good operator. I would say she's higher than Finka, lower than Thermite, but she's a really good operator. Even though her mats are very predictable, a lot of people say, but she is someone who she's someone who is very universal, very beginner friendly, and when it comes to her actual weapons itself, really easy to control. And when you mix, like, for example, the chaos that you can do with Frost, and they might not be thinking of, hey, let me rappel through this window, and then you have to look down to shoot the frost trap. They may shoot the frost trap, but they're not looking at you, and you just get the kill there. So it goes hand in hand. Goyo, his map control is just honestly one of the best. I would say he's an S tier for me. He's very beginner friendly, and like I said, map control. When you put this on like a wall, or not a wall, but you put it like on a barrier, or you put it like on a shield. Like if you're using Ella or Frost, and they have their shield, and you put your girl fire on it, it's one of the best. One of the best combos that you can do. Really, one of the best. Jaeger's kind of a B. I would say top of B, just because if you are Nomad, you are Ying, you are Grim, those kind of operators. Jaeger's utility, how he can block the grenades and all that, that's just straight defense for it. I would say it's kind of underwhelming because of his weapons that he uses. If his not his AK, but his assault rifle, his AR, if he can get an ACOG scope, it's probably never gonna happen. Let's just be honest, probably never gonna happen. But if he does get an ACOG scope on that, then he'll probably be more towards the top of S. But because he doesn't, I would say he's more of the top of B. Cade is gonna be S tier. I would say he's better than Dokkaebi. He is an S tier. As far as he is like double bandit. Yeah, if Jaeger had an ACOG, he'd be goated. Probably top of A, if not S. But he's still good. He's average. I would say Cade's weapon. I love playing Cade. First of all, his weapon is amazing. Low recoil, easy to control. His ability, you can do 3 reinforced walls at the same time if you place it correct. You know what I mean? You can electrify 3 reinforced walls instead of 1 with Bandit. He's just an S tier operator. Capcan, he is, I would say, bottom of B, just because he's very predictable. You know what I mean? If you have a Capcan, you just got to watch for the bottom and the middle. Not so much the top, because the top is very easy to see, so he's never going to do that. But if you do go through a door and it has 2, you're kind of dead. So you just got to be careful for that. So he's on the bottom of B. Legion, one of my favorite operators. He's probably going to be, at least for me, opinionated. He's better than Buck. I said it. He's better than Buck. And the only reason why I say that is because I had so many situations where it's a late game and someone steps into a goo mine and I get the kill. I be so hyped. I be so hyped when that happens. And honestly, throughout the game, when you get map control, people are like, okay, don't go that way because there's a goo mine there. And the second is just, over time, the enemy's just losing health, losing health, losing health. And then when they get hurt, that's what's it called? Audio cue. So, no matter what, this guy is always going to be S for me. I'm always going to pick him unless they ban him. Obviously, I can't pick him, but he's like my number one defender. Number one. Maestro is going to be... Maestro's, I'm going to put him on top of Osa, lower than Blitz, just because his cameras can be really good and effective when someone is planting the bomb. If someone's planting the bomb, and the same as the Echo, where if you hit him with the camera, it's gonna enough times it can actually kill them instead of disorient them and stop them from actually planting the bomb. This can actually kill them. So it's a little bit better than Echo, and plus he has the LMG, which is really nice. Just like Tachanka, which we're gonna get to later, they have LMGs. LMGs are nice when they're on defending. They're nice. Hold on. Let me see my notes here. Sorry about that. Melusi, that's the name. I was looking for the name. I would say Melusi. Just thinking about it, I would put her at, she's better than Ram. I would say not by fun wise, because obviously Ram, like we talked about earlier, Ram was really fun to use, or Ram is really fun to use. Melusi's more so her gadget. It's really good. Really good, if not one of the best. The only thing that I will say is that, for example, Dog has an ACOG for the MP5, but she doesn't, which is why? It's for example, Goro can have the ACOG for his Vector, but Mira, which is next, and why when we just put her up, she's an A tier. We can all agree with that. Everyone chooses Mira. If not, they ban them. But Goro has the ACOG for the Vector, but Mira doesn't, which makes no sense at all. Just like how Dog and Rook have the ACOG for the MP5, but Melusi doesn't. If Melusi had the ACOG, she'd definitely be an S tier. But she just doesn't, so she's just on an A. Mousy. Taking control of drones on defense, that's probably an S. That's my opinion. Just the ability itself. One, the weapon is really good. His weapons are really good. But two, because he could take control of the actual drones, that's just a straight up S tier. Mute, another S tier. I think he is better than Fenrir just because he could disrupt. If you're late game and if you're going against a Mute on a late game and you're trying to drone to see all the areas and all the rooms to see where this Mute is, but he has the mutes down, so you can't even do recon, and you're just basically relying on your ears and sound. That's a detriment. That's a big detriment. So he's obviously going to be S for me. Let me see. Oryx. Oryx is probably going to be not bottom, but more towards the bottom. I think Ella's better than him. And I would say the only reason why he's not really bad to me is because his movement, he can actually go, vertically. He can move vertically. If there's a hatch above and it's open, he'll be able to go to that hatch. So he's a good roamer. I've seen a lot of people, roam with him, which is, good. But other than that, I mean, his utilities, it's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's just okay. So that's why, it's average. Pulse is probably gonna be bottom of Twitch. Pulse is good. He's really good with recon, and he's really good if you are like setting up a room and you have like three reinforced walls. You have a soft wall that you can breach through if you wanted to. You use your pulse cam. You see the pulse cam, and then you get like that hit with your shotgun, which the shotgun is goated. I would say his shotgun is the best shotgun in the game, hands down, best shotgun in the game. But his ability plus his shotgun make him like a deadly combo if you know how to use him correctly. He does get time, like he does need time to get used to, but when you do get used to him, one of the best in the game. One of the best in the game. I would say let me see, Rook. Rook is gonna be top of B, lower A. He's average. He's average. Wait, hold on one second. All right, so who's next? We did Striker. What's the other person's name? Let me see here. Sentry. Sentry's going to be same thing with Striker. They're one and the same. You get two utilities instead of an actual. All right, let's see who's next. Scopus. I would say Scopus is kind of B. I mean, not B. Probably better than Maverick, lower than Brava. Just because, I mean, it's an acquired taste operator. I feel like it was something for them to put in a season. So they, it's new content. But really, obviously switching from one robot to the next. One, your footsteps are louder. At least for me, I feel like the footsteps are louder. And two, the kit's not really that good. You just switch between one or the other. The only thing that's good, and you can actually say that it goes up to B, if if that's your opinion, is because when you switch, like let's say if I'm one shot for one robot and I switch to the other, you're back to full health. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like you somebody can put it in B, and I wouldn't be mad at that. It's just for me, and it's an acquired taste. Smoke is the S. The map control is phenomenal. I think he is a better Fenrir, just because of a Fenrir. Even though you put like the actual smoke, the smoke objects on the wall for you to activate them, you can only activate 2 at a time, and they have a limit. But with smoke, you could throw them at will. They last longer, and you can actually go through it. I believe Fenrir. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Fenrir, you can still be affected by your own gadget, which is a big detriment. With smoke, you can't. You can go in. So that's why I put him above Fenrir. Solus, I put him at top. Put her top of A. You can see the enemies, see enemy gadgets through your visor. It's pretty good operator. Her kit, her weapons, really good. I love her weapons. The P90 is goated as usual. Yeah, I mean that's all I got to say for that. Tachanka. B. Lower than Jackal, higher than Ela. And I will say this because he has an LMG. If it wasn't for his LMG, he would be probably right here. But because he has an LMG, puts him all the way right here. And an LMG that's easy to control. That's one thing. Easy to control. His utility is okay. I mean, it's basically a grenade launcher that shoots fire. A fire grenade launcher. You know what I mean? Map control. Right there. If you want easy map control, something easy for you to do, there you go. But the real skill with this operator is if you know how to play vertical. Like if you have a ram, for example, if the enemy team had a ram, I saw this one time. I forget who it was. Enemy team had a ram. They were using ram upstairs. They made holes in the wall. Tachanka actually went up, killed the ram, and played vertical. Played vertical as a defender. And that'll make this operator like A tier, probably S tier. Oh, what's up, man? What's up? Yeah, man, I remember. Gotta stay grinding, man. Stay grinding. Thorn. I used to play Thorn a lot. I used to play her a lot. I would say she's more lower than Castle, top of Jaeger. She is an operator where her weapons are good, her utilities are good also. They're just easy to counter. They're kind of like fuse in a way where you have that notification that, a Thorn grenade is going to pop up. and it's easy to get away from. But it's good for map control as a defender. It's one of the better ones for map control. So, and you see like map control and utility is a rising theme among my tier list, because if you have good map control and you have a good ability, depending on obviously how good the ability is and how good your map control is, it kind of varies on where you're gonna be placed in this tier list. Now it's all good. It's all good. Now your name's not dumb or stupid. It's good. It's good. Liquid. That's nice. Like Team Liquid. They're one of, I think they have a Rainbow Six team like for league competitive. Thunderbird is gonna be bottom of average. Well, actually, no, legit middle of average. I put her right here. You heal teammates. You know what I mean? Well, it's like a dock, but instead of a dock can move around and heal you and go to you, the Thunderbirds are just stationary. You put them down and you can't move them. So that's why instead of an A, you're a B. I'm just trying to pronounce this other guy's name, Tubadiao. I would put him as bottom A, just because if you are, for example, a Thatcher. If you are a Thatcher or an Ace and you are this guy, you can actually stop their breach, which is great. You can stop them. I don't stream every day. I know I try to stream at least 3 or 4 times a week. I'm trying to work on a schedule to which, is better for, my followers, just as yourself, or, just me in general. I do work a 9 to 5, so it's kind of hard. And of course, putting out videos, it can be like, the task can be heavy. I'm trying to figure out a schedule. I probably will do like Tuesdays or Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, or Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I'm just still trying to figure out the schedule, but keep that notification on, man. Keep that notification, even if it's on TikTok, because sometimes I just stream on TikTok and not even bother with Twitch or YouTube, or I might switch to YouTube just see how it is over there. It just depends, but put the notifications on, man. Put the notifications on. Valkyrie, I'm putting Valkyrie in S. Her weapon, the MX or MPX, is 100% goated, probably one of the best weapons in the game. And since you are a defender, you have those free cameras that you can use. Her whole operator kit is just awesome. Awesome. I'm putting her in S. Vigil, if you know how to roam, he could be really good. If you don't know how to roam and you're kind of just winging it, he could be a B. So I'm going to put him top of B, low of A. He's just a roamer. You pop his ability, you're not able to see him on your drones. Let's do Wamai. I would say he is bottom A. Obviously, if you're throwing, for example, an EMP grenade, or you are, let's see here, if you're throwing an EMP grenade, or you are throwing any type of frag grenade, like for Blackbeard, or any type of throwable, obviously his utility will suck it up. So obviously it's really good. I would say depending on your experience in the game, on your placement, and it honestly just depends if the enemy team is going to use their frag grenades. Most likely they will, but obviously a lot of people don't really use that, especially on a beginner level. They kind of just use their weapons and their ability. They don't worry about their gadgets. So that's why, you could probably put him down to the middle of B. But for me, I'm going to put him top of A. Warden, he's going to be A. He's going to be an A tier. I would say he's better than Mira. He's a correct counter of Ying with the goated weapon of Valkyrie. I mean, that combo itself is just goated. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yeah, man, if you could pull up every stream, man, that'd be very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. Like I said, I just don't have a consistent stream schedule, so, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to get it down soon, though. I'm going to get it down soon for sure. And I'm as far as my stream schedule, I'm going to create like a link tree on like my TikTok and all my socials. So, people like you, followers like you guys will be able to see that. But this is a tier list. Yeah, I would say just looking at it, if I'm going to make any corrections at all, Mm, this is just pretty solid. Um, I would say Finka probably will go down in between Pulse and Iani or Iana, whatever her name is. And Kelly would probably go to D tier. Well, actually, maybe not because she can destroy the walls, soft walls. Yeah. So this is my tier list. This is what I think as a beginner, as someone who you think it pretty solid. Think it pretty solid. Yeah. So I know someone who is coming back from the game or coming back to the game. There was just some mosquito in here. But someone who's coming back to the game and someone who's trying to pick up things really quick so they'll be able to, rank up as quick as possible. This is probably going to be the best beginner tier list that you could do for sure.